hello, everyone. Welcome to a semi-late night edition of the Missing Lynx post-game live stream podcast, whatever it is. I'm your host, Andrew, beat reporter for Zonecoverage. I cover the Lynx, Wolves, and Women's Gophers team now, who finally have a non-conference schedule out, if anyone's interested in college ball. That is live. But I got Jonah Maves with me today, Zonecoverage friend, colleague, hoops aficionado. How's it going, man?
It's great to be here after a win, especially over a tough team like the Valkyries and down Alana Smith and Dejanay Carrington. I mean, that's a tough win. That's a tough win.
With nothing to play for at that. I mean, the Valkyries are fighting for seeding, like legitimately still playing for their playoff lives. And the Lynx put in like maybe 8 minutes of really good basketball at the end of the third quarter and end up just kind of winning the game. It's kind of ridiculous how good this team is, isn't it, Jonah?
I mean, it was shaky in the first half, and even when, I mean, they didn't score their first points until 3-4 minutes, I want to say, into the fourth quarter. So even when they were steering things back in the right direction, I mean, and it's just hard against this Valkyries team. They play so tough. They play so hard. They're so connected. I mean, you take a couple possessions off, a game's going to be right back there. And I mean, not to not play your A game, be down a couple of your key pieces, not playing for anything. That's pretty damn good, you know?
It's and there's a lot of dubs in the chat, so we'll just get into it right away. I mean, Natisha Hiedeman sets the record tonight for most assists off the bench. She's played she's had 3 consecutive games of 20 plus or more. She's tied her career high tonight. She has been awesome. Like, I know you're a film guy and you've been churning out Natisha Hiedeman clips for like the last week and a half. Just how impressive is it that he's able to do this?
The thing that has shocked me all season is how good she shot at the rim for being a slim 5'8" guard, shifty guard. Like, no doubt she benefits from transition runouts, getting out easy layups off steals, things like that, and just the gravity of Fee and the Lynx offense, the 5-out. But some of her crafty finishing, I mean, the way she could find angles, the way she can just use touch around the rim it's pretty astonishing. I mean, that's been the biggest driver of, I think, her scoring this year, because there was a real slump there with her 3-point shooting for a long time. I mean, we're just seeing it kind of kick back into place, but it's been the 2-point scoring for me has been just incredible.
It's so interesting because before she got traded to Minnesota, she was like a upper 40% 3-point shooter. And then her first year, she's pretty bad, like from her standards. And this year, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Brandon Beck was on a post game and was like, that is the most confident 30% 3-point shooter on the team. And like, she is. Every one of them looks like it's going in. I mean, to me, the biggest thing is just when she's running the pick and roll game, how fast she can get around the corner and just dive to the basket there's no one else on this team that can do that.
And we way back when we talked about who's going to get to the rim for this Lynx team, like Diamond Miller was kind of our X factor of like,
yep,
who is going to get downhill, put pressure on the rim, force the defense to collapse more. And I mean, T's probably been the best at that on the team this year. I mean, her quickness she's attempted a career high 4.1 2-point field goals this season, and she's shooting also a career high 57% on those 2-point field goals. Her prior career high was 46%. So on 2-point field goals, she's up 11% from her previous career high, and her career average is 45%. So
she shoots at the rim like a center.
Yeah.
Those are like borderline nuts. Rudy Gobert numbers out of your 5'5", 5'8" point guard. It's
and then generous she's just 5'8".
Yeah, and then it's just she also has this ability to pass where like you can't sell out on her on those like straight line drives because she She doesn't really turn the ball over. She's able to hit people in the corner. She can drop passes. It's crazy that, like, she's obviously getting some steam for like 6th player of the year this, like, the last couple weeks because of her scoring and stuff. But like, she really is like not. She can have a bad. I'll phrase it this way: she can have a bad game, and I don't think the Lynx lose. But like, when she has a good game, it's almost impossible for them to lose because it means like they just
Exactly
have
what you
this extra
want out of a
thing.
bench player.
Yeah. I mean, the other bench player we'll get to here, I'm going to run a quick ad and then I think we should probably give Jessica Shepard some flowers too, because good Lord, did she have a game tonight. But let's go to an ad quick. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Lynx podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard, and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. Real quick, David just says in the chat here, it's so cool that T took to her role, which I think is really impressive too, because she is a starting point guard in this league. Like, she decided to come back to the Lynx, after losing in the finals. It sounded like it was never really a question. Like, she wanted to come back. The team wanted her to come back. And there was more money and more opportunity out there, but she has been just thriving in her role off the bench, which I think is really hard. Like, I think it's just hard to like explain to people. You're already a star athlete. She's having her jersey retired at Marquette this year, like, was a starting point guard in Connecticut. And then the last 2 years, she's kind of been just the like pull in case of emergency because Courtney Williams is doing Courtney Williams, the bad stuff. And then she comes and cleans it up. I mean, it's just remarkable that she's taken to it so well this year. What do you think, Jonah?
I think the really invaluable trait that T has is her playing style is of a player you'd think would need the ball a lot, but she does so well at being able to play with court, being able to play. She could play with anyone. That is what I love about her. She can play on ball. She can play off ball. Even when she's off ball, she can find ways to flow into secondary actions, to make quick decisions off the catch, do all the things that you'd want your off ball player to do, especially in a link system that like you need quick decisions in order to play. But then also being able to do the same things when she is the one that's initiating an offense, being the scorer of a lineup, things like that. Like, being able to toggle, I mean, that's just a whole other layer of why playing off the bench can be really difficult. Is it's not an easy thing when your role is changing every single night. It's just to find consistency, and that's just so impressive.
Well, and there's some games where Court's going to have a heater, and then T gets to play 12 minutes. And there's other games like tonight where she plays 28 minutes, no Carrington. And I mean, we spent this whole time talking about her getting to the rim. She didn't shoot a 2-point basket tonight. She just casually went 6 for 10 from 3, which again, it's crazy that this is just someone that comes off the Lynx bench. We'll get into Jessica Shepard too. I mean, 12 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, just 1 turnover. Played 38 minutes. This was the last start she had before that. She played a cover-to-cover 40 minutes and just casually got a triple-double. I mean, I say it a lot on this podcast of just, like, it's kind of unfair, the depth that the Lynx have and kind of the system the Lynx run. But, like, when Jess just comes out and starts like this, it really is kind of unfair, don't you think?
Especially for how seamless the fit is for them into the lineup. It's one thing if you have really good players off the bench, but it's another where you bring Jess in, it's a whole other layer with her passing ability. It's a whole other layer with just everything else you can do on offense and how it changes things, but in such a good way. It's just a luxury. It's the same kind of situation like you said with Court and T. Like if Alana Smith gets in foul trouble, you just toggle right over to Jess and she can just do her thing. Like it's such a luxury to have with that switch. Just okay, we'll be fine. We'll switch over to our other big that's can do just as many interesting things and make the other team work. And it's some crazy team building. It's a hell of a team.
I mean, you mentioned it, but just how they can switch. Like Lan is like a pick and roll, like she dives to the rim. But other than that, she just kind of sits out on the 3-point line for the most part. Plays like, everything filters into Lan on defense. And then Jess subs in, and Jess is like an offensive hub, like Sabonis-esque type of passer that can't shoot threes to save her life, but can score anything in the paint. Great footwork. And it's the entire team makes that switch like the second she comes in. I mean, I know like bringing up Wolves isn't always the most fun, but like that year they first got Gobert and they were trying to run like Gobert and Towns on separate lineups and everyone was forgetting what they were doing. Like it's legitimately really high level to be able to switch your entire offensive like philosophy because of a sub.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like clockwork. They just make it happen. I mean, it's so much of it is just like I said with the luxury of like there was the possession where one of my favorite possessions tonight when Fee got stuck down low, double comes, they dump it off to Jess, also gets stopped, and she just makes an extra pass to Bridget for a wide open corner 3. It's just like the amount of little things that can just pop up like that within the flow of the offense is really what you're looking for. You don't need to structure as much. It just kind of naturally happens with player strengths and weaknesses and things like that.
It's kind of fun talking to Cheryl about it because I talked to her a few weeks ago of just like the Court and Lan pick and roll and how difficult that's been for teams to stop. And she's like, well, you can either send 2 to the ball, but if you do that, Court's going to hit the mid range. And if you like switch on it, Lan's so quick on her like hip turn that she's going to get to the rim. So Cheryl's like, I guess what I would do is like send a corner defender in to like help on the roll and then switch on it. But then she's like, but then I guess you're probably leaving like Bridget or Kayla open, and that's not good.
And both bigs can pass out of the short roll to the corner too.
So it's just
the flexibility's all there.
And that's not even factoring in that Fee is somewhere on the court and she can make, I mean, she's the reigning defensive player of the year that's shooting 62% true shooting. Like,
yeah.
It's this team's going to be a hard one to beat. Ben asks in the chat, were either of us shocked that Masha only got 6 minutes tonight? I'll be honest. I think this game was not like a message game, but Cheryl was really unhappy with the starters defense against the Aces. I think this game was you guys are going to go out there and win this one. If I have to play you 45 minutes in overtime, like you're winning this game. So I wasn't surprised that Masha didn't get minutes, especially just with how Shep was playing. But were you surprised at all, Jonah?
I mean, looking back on it, it's like, wow, she only did play 6 minutes. But there wasn't a point in like the second half where I'm like, they should maybe toggle over to Masha, as much as she's one of my favorite players to watch this season. Had that crazy block in her first stint. I mean, it was just working with Jess in the second half. The offensive rebounds was really something that I really liked with Shepard too, that I'd like to add. She had 4 on the night and she was just scrapping down low. I mean, they were going to war on these rebounds. Whoever was on Jessica Shepard, and some just fell into her lap and then others were just completely earned. But like I said, I don't think there was really a moment where I'm like, they should move off her. So that's kind of how I felt.
So V Marie adds here, Jess actually shoots threes regularly when overseas. Team needs her to be down low like Brunson late in her career. I will say I wouldn't be surprised if Jess had that in her bag. I'll relay it this way. You just mentioned Masha is one of your favorite players. Nobody knew she could shoot threes when she came back over to the Lynx. Like coaching staff, no one. She literally got pregnant, had her child. Like I asked her about it, like, where did you learn to shoot? And she was like, I had my kid and my shooting was bad. So I just started shooting more. So like the last 3 years overseas, she's just been launching threes, comes in and takes one. And I think if Masha would have missed the first two, we might not have seen her shoot another three. I wonder if that's kind of the situation with Jess, where she shot a couple long twos or threes, and Cheryl was just like, no, we're not doing this here. But she's also like, I mean, her footwork is remarkable. I mean, it's one of the like weird things when you switch your brain from like NBA to WNBA is just you get to see the like really good footwork post players again. And I think that's, when you have Fee and Jess on the court at the same time, like your post game is just dominant. What do you think?
The thing that I love about Jess is when she gets the ball, literally, if it's anywhere in the restricted area, no matter how she gets there, she's finding an angle. But regarding, the thing is, I don't think they need her to shoot threes. Even if she was like a low 30%, like I think her being able to be a short role player, to be able to flow into handoffs, be able to be, I think that can be just as valuable to the offense as like being a shooter can be. Maybe I mean, it'd be a luxury to have her stretch it out like Masha does here and there. Like, oh, the defense is completely sagging off. You have a wide open look. Let it fly, maybe. But I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
We're just really nitpicking if that's our complaint.
Exactly.
Marie asks, and I'm going to make you answer this first. Who would you guys vote for Sixth Player of the Year, T or Jess? The grimace on your face.
I think statistically, I mean, I think the recency, I think it's T. I think it goes to Natisha Hiedeman at the moment. Because I mean, she's even averaging more points than Jess right now too. But I mean, the 3-point, all the percentages are just it's one of, like, everything's going right for T right now, percentage wise across the board with her numbers. And you look at these last three straight games of 20 plus off the bench. Each game was a season high, game after game after game, tied a career high today. I think it just has to go to her. I think that's where my vote goes.
That's where mine would go to. I mean, it's recency bias, but it's also like, if you were saying these two were at a tie like a week ago, like T's had the better week, I do think they'll both get votes though, which I don't know if that helps or hurts, but I do think they will get votes. Ben notes here that Jess was a point guard in high school and then grew, and here we are. I had the opposite experience. I was a small forward in middle school and then hit 5'7" and never grew again. So now I'm here on a podcast. Dustin, what's the word on Dejanay? Is she just resting? I just based off of like what Cheryl said and what the injury is, it sounds like this is just going to be something that is really painful. So does it make sense for Dejanay to grit through the pain of having a shoulder that pops in and out of socket up maybe even multiple times a game if she doesn't need to? I would say no. The vibe I get is that if it were playoffs today, she'd probably be good to go. But, we'll see. Phil over here from the Please Understand pod, which now that I'm thinking about it, I never blasted my appearance. I'll retweet the pod I was on with you guys tomorrow. Andrew, I know how bullish you are on the squad, but if you had to pick one other team you'd be nervous to face in the playoffs, who would it be? Is it New York? I am going to say it would not be New York, but then I'm going to let Jonah, our guest, answer first. Or I can answer
like a month ago. I'd say New York. Recently, I don't know. It's been a little tricky for them. I think the easy answer, if you want to look recently, is just the Aces because they're playing so incredibly well. At the moment, though, is kind of tricky. Let's see what the standings even look like right now.
I mean, I would say for a long period of time, I didn't think it would. I was answering this question as no one. Like it's not going to matter.
It's very fair.
I think New York has fallen off a little bit.
Maybe the dream.
Maybe the dream. I mean, Griner gives them trouble and they shoot a ton of threes. That's kind of a good way to kind of break this Lynx defense. I'm still not sold on Las Vegas. Like they were 14-14 at one point before this run. Asia's been playing unbelievable, but I don't know how confident I am in the rest of their squad. Like I know they have a lot of proven like all-stars. Cheryl mentioned it. They have 4 Olympians on their team, but like, is that going to hold up in the playoffs round after round? I honestly, like, if I had to make a pick, it would probably be Atlanta, just because, again, they play such good defense. Griner is so big and no one on the Lynx can really match her size. And then they shoot a ton of threes, which if you get Atlanta in the second round in a 5-game series, if Griner wins one game and 3-point variance wins the other 2, that the series over. So I would say Atlanta, which Nate Pence jumps in and says Atlanta. Oh, Nate Pence, boy, do we have timing for you. But Jonah, before you answer, we got to run another ad here because Nate Pence is in the chat and I will forget. And we're back with another ad read. This time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. Just a dot this time. Last pod, we got the whole .com. This pod, just dot. I don't know what that means to the gamblers that are betting on this, the dozens of you, but
Down big time.
Pay it out. So Jonah, who would you say is your biggest, like, I guess, worry or fear in the postseason?
Early rounds, Valkyrie Storm might be tricky for like a first round matchup. That's the thing, is even these first round matchups could be, it's not like the Fever, their entire team is on the sidelines, but they're still finding ways. It's just, I just don't think there's going to be like a quote unquote easy matchup in the first round, which a little shaky, but I think I'm with you with a dream just because they've given them trouble this season. Alicia Gray has had an incredible year. I mean, Griner's, like, their plus minus with Griner is a mess, but we've seen in these games against the Lynx, her size alone, like you said, can give them trouble. They have a lot of ways they can toggle around with their lineups. They players than like Ryan Howard, but it's really like the Mercury I'm still iffy on.
Yeah,
AT's doing her thing, but that really rounds it out with teams that potentially, like you said with the Aces, they're on 13 wins in a row is 13 wins in a row, but what are you going to get outside of Asia?
Yeah. And in a playoff series, like, someone will inevitably get like banged up. Like we saw it in the finals against the Liberty where Court got like a torn thumb ligament. I think Sabrina also got like a torn hand or something weird. Like there's going to be weird injuries, and the Aces just, I mean, they just don't have a ton. Cole agrees with Atlanta. Adriana. We're going to do Adriana. Says the Atlanta as well. Dustin says Seattle. I'm not as worried about Seattle. I mean, the first round in the WNBA, and this is just me being like a basketball snob of just a 3-game series kind of sucks. Like, you have to be worried about anyone because like the way the game is played now, if a team shoots 60% on threes, you're going to lose that game. And then it's just a coin flip and teams get hot from 3. That's why like Golden State, I think Alan Horton was talking about it quite a bit tonight of just like they shoot the most threes in the league. Like if they get hot, you just lose that game. It doesn't matter. Seattle is just, I don't know. I feel like if they got Seattle with the whole, dancing off the court thing and Cheryl getting a technical in the last game, like the Lynx have this ability to kind of lean forward in their chair and really go up a couple levels. I don't know if it's possible that Seattle, like just from an ego standpoint, if the Lynx would fall to Seattle. Cole says I want him in the first round because of how they tried to embarrass. That's how I agree too, by the way. I want Seattle in the first round. All the smoke.
The antics would be incredible.
Exactly. Like Diggins, I think is, hilarious. I want that. Gabby Williams is awesome. Malonga, I do agree with Dustin that her size is ridiculous, but yeah, you can just say you aren't worried. I get it. I mean, that's the thing. And Jonah, I'd love to get your thoughts on it, but like, we're talking about a team that is historically good at everything, like best offense, best defense, best effective field goal, best assist to turnover ratio. I think they've dipped to second in assist percentage. Like, it's hard to be worried about another team when they have put together this resume of just dominance, which what are your thoughts, Jonah? I mean, am I just like too high in the clouds here, or?
I mean, we really are spoiled to a point where when I was watching the game and they struggle a little bit, it seems like it's the end of the world in the moment. But it's just like, there's no such thing as a perfect team. This team is 33-9. Like, come on now. And recognize like it's easy to be worried with some of these late season games when they're playing for nothing, like we said. But once they kick it into playoff gear, the experience they have from last year, the multitude of experience that Cheryl has, as well as the players on her staff, I can't really think what much more you could ask for with their experience moving into the playoffs. It's just going to be getting the job done. That's going to be all it is.
The other thing I just point to is Fee last year. I want to say through the first and second round, she averaged more points than minutes, and she was dropping 30 bombs almost every night. I mean, I think she's going to go up a level or two. I mean, it's hard to understate, when you don't really have anything to play for, which really since like August 1st, they haven't really had anything to play for. It's hard to like completely lock in. So as Dustin says in the chats, I mean, still worrying about 3-game series. That's kind of my fear, is like team takes game 1 because you're not quite locked in, and then they take game 2 or 3 because they shoot 55% from 3 and it's just over. But to your point, Jonah, I mean, you have Cheryl Reeve, which I don't know, she has a pretty good track record of winning championships, especially in odd years and after she lost one, which, is what it is, I guess. Jonah, as we kind of wrap up here, how has I feel like you've kind of like reincarnated yourself as a Lynx fan. You went from like last year just tweeting like "Hey Fee" every once in a while to Like you're full Lynx mode this year to where your clips are showing up on like season ticket holder group chats that I'm in. Like what has
Wonderful.
it been about this
Wonderful.
Lynx team that has been just so like captivating, I guess?
I mean, it's much easier when I start holding myself to like consistently posting stuff. But I mean, I've just fell in love with the offense. I've had so much fun. My favorite thing with posting clips is seeing something then be like, oh yeah, I posted something about this a couple weeks ago. Like, for example, the possession tonight that they had the ATO late in the game where they had McBride loop around on the Iverson screen, went down to the low block, popped back out, hit Fee for the mid-range. I'm like, I feel like I saw something very similar to that a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's just so cool to see how Cheryl's offense works, how all the pieces just gel together, how the skill sets work together. It's very captivating basketball. It's beautiful basketball. Their offense. It's a great watch.
I mean, it like it's always so funny to me that Cheryl Reeve is a defensive coach, right? But then she has this like everyone's bought in ball movement, like pick and roll, swing, San Antonio peak Spurs, like ball movement basketball. And she's
so
a defensive
Spursy.
coach.
It's nuts. It's very Spursy. That's a great way to put it.
It is. It's every time I watch it and like Land shoots a three, I just have flashbacks of like Boris Diaw launching a three, and it's like, yeah, I have this feels like home.
Love a Boris Diaw name drop. Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, man. Boris. Jonah, anything you want to plug, anything you want to get out there before we get out of here tonight?
Recently wrote about Courtney Williams 3-point shooting just because she's putting up all types of career highs this year. Recently dropped over at Zonecoverage. Probably gonna write another Lynx article this week because there's nothing Wolves related I want to write about, and it's so much more fun to write about the Lynx right now. So I'd say look out for something Lynx related from me coming likely Thursday.
All I can say is Lynx fans, Zonecoverage now has like 4 Lynx pieces coming out a week. And like, I don't know if anyone else is doing that, like long form Lynx pieces where I drop inside references from the mid 90s and Jonah gives like unbelievable film reviews. So it's probably a good balance.
A little bit of that.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on, Jonah. It's all the 240 plus of you guys that have swung by here at 10:53 on a Saturday night. Appreciate all of you. And until, oh gosh, when do they play next? Monday? Tuesday? The 9th. What's that? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Until Tuesday. This is why people come to the podcast, when your beat reporter that covers the team has no clue when they play next. Until Indiana on Tuesday. We'll catch you all next time. And actually, I suppose I should drop it on Indiana Tuesdays. It's going to be me, Mitch, and Terry, kind of a end of the regular season, hitting the hardwood. All 3 of us will be on here chopping it up. But thanks again, Jonah. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.